Taking a full look at weather now, Weather Authority Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca. Everywhere on the Central Coast and everywhere throughout California, it seems like we're seeing a repeat of these images.
You know, from the North Bay to Ventura today, I even saw flooding on Hollywood Boulevard today in Los Angeles. So yeah, there's been flooding across the state. A lot of water coming down out of the hills still, and more coming out of the sky soon. Take a look at this satellite image here. You are looking at the next round. Now, this isn't an atmospheric river. That came through earlier today. This is just a good old area of low pressure, just kind of a storm system that was trailing this atmospheric river. This atmospheric river did pump up a lot of moisture, though, so we're sitting in a fairly mild and moist air mass right now. Now, I think about my storm chasing days when I used to live in Denver. I lived in Denver for about 7 years, Denver, Colorado, and I would often go chase thunderstorms on the plains. And during the evening hours, when a storm system would approach, the winds would pick up out of the south. You'd head into Kansas, you'd be on I-70, and you'd have this 20-mile-per-hour southerly wind pushing up moisture all the way from the Gulf of Mexico. It'd be, 9 o'clock at night, and the temperature would be 70 degrees, and the humidity would be like 80%, and it would be warm, and you'd be eaten by mosquitoes. And then next thing you know, a short wave would come out of the Rockies, and you'd get the line of thunderstorms developing, and it would plow across the plains with a big shelf cloud and a big light show. And man, this looks a lot like that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm having some moments here. Now, this doesn't have to scare you, but it does have some hazards associated with it, with the potential for some heavy rain overnight. And unfortunately for us, a lot of our memories of lightning are during the summertime when it is extremely dry, and a lightning strike means a forest fire, a wildfire. This is not the case right now. Now, lightning can certainly strike a home, something to that effect, and cause a fire, or you if you're outside running around with a golf club in your hand or something to that effect. But overnight tonight, we have a chance of thunderstorms. They will bring some heavy rain. They will bring some gusty winds as well. We're going to talk about that threat. Now, I mentioned also that the fog had cleared out of Salinas, but it is not clearing out of Monterey. It looks like it just moved in. Here's a live look from Domenico's on the Wharf, and we are looking at foggy conditions right now across the Monterey area. As I mentioned, a lot of low-level moisture streaming up from the south. Winds beginning to pick up as this storm system rolls in from the west. The leading edge of it bringing a line of thunderstorms toward our area. But these winds are actually going to pick up over the next couple of hours, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. I do want to talk a little bit about some storm totals, though, from the last 48 hours or so. We got some significant rainfall in the Santa Lucia range, in some cases over a foot of rain, especially in that narrow but tall string of mountains from the San Luis Obispo County line up to around Lucia. That's not a very thick line of mountains, but it just acts as a dam for all the moisture coming in. It just pulls moisture out of the air. And in many cases, we saw almost a foot of rain. So there was plentiful moisture there. 3 to 6 inches in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Any normal storm system during the winter can put that down and we don't flood. But everything is completely saturated right now, so all of that water immediately runs off right into the creeks and streams and makes them swell. They're already swollen, it just makes things worse. Salinas, cities around the bay, between 1 and 2 inches for the most part, nothing to get too worried about, except for the fact that, again, we're saturated right now. And for our inland areas, we even saw rainfall totals close to 5 inches in the mountains of San Benito County. And keep in mind, a lot of the roads in San Benito County south of Hollister, they don't have bridges on them. So all of these streams, they just go over the roads. And to get to your home, which is typically a ranch or someplace hiding in the mountains, maybe you live near New Idria, behind some trees. I drove through there once, saw some eyes looking at me outside some windows. I like that area though. It's very private. Either way, those roads are impassable tonight with a lot of water coming down, so please be careful out there. Let's talk about that wind. It is picking up out of the south. Moist southerly flow coming in ahead of our storm system. Gale warnings now in place out over the water. We have a wind advisory in place for all of the viewing area through 4 p.m. tomorrow. Winds are going to get gusty with this line of thunderstorms as they come through. And again, we could see some additional trees down. We could see some additional power outages overnight. Here is Futurecast winds showing the winds really picking up between 1 and 3 a.m. as that line comes through. And then as it comes through, we'll see additional gusty winds potentially with any of these given thunderstorms as they roll through the area overnight. Now, not everyone's going to see a ton of thunderstorm and lightning activity, but I do think we are going to have some lightning passing through the viewing area as this cold, I guess you could even call it a cold front. It probably is really a cold front essentially coming through. Behind it, there'll be cool gusty winds tomorrow afternoon. Here's Futurecast showing the first line of showers and thunderstorms approaching. I think we'll probably hold off till around 2 or 3 a.m. before we see it roll in. But as it comes ashore, what you can expect is brief heavy rainfall, gusty winds, occasional lightning. Now there is one other threat I do want to talk about. People have been asking me about this because there's a lot of rumors swirling around on the internet about a huge tornado threat in California tomorrow. Now, there is a non-zero chance of tornadoes, okay? And here's why. As this line comes through, there is potential in the atmosphere. There's a little bit of turning going on, so any updraft that develops as a cloud rises, it is going to spin because of wind shear. The low levels, we're looking at southerly winds. It slowly turns to the west as you get higher. That will actually rotate the clouds individually. Now, typically, with a big line like this, you might get some little swirls within it, and there certainly is a possibility of a few water spouts out over the water. Once it hits the mountains, chances drop a lot because the mountains really kind of interfere with that low to mid-level flow. But out over the water, there's a chance of water spouts as this comes through. We're going to be watching this on radar closely. We can actually see the spinning in the clouds as it approaches on radar. Erica will be here overnight. I'm going to stay here pretty late overnight. We're tracking this, so if we do have any concerns, we will keep you updated on that. And if you have the KION Weather Authority app and there are warnings that go out, you will get those on your phone. So we're watching that. I don't expect it to be a huge threat. I don't think we're going to see a lot of it. I do expect maybe a couple of spinning things out there. We do actually get that fairly often during the winter time with these storms that come in. It's not uncommon to see low-topped thunderstorms out over the water that do spin a little bit. We've had them before. We've had a couple of instances over the past couple of months where those small circulations have come ashore. So we're watching that for you overnight. As for the threat into tomorrow, a few more rounds of showers and perhaps thunderstorms rolling through into tomorrow afternoon. Might even be some small hail. There is some cold air aloft with this. But I think the primary threat will be brief wind gusts and also brief downpours. Again, without a large-scale rain event going on, we're not going to see a lot of major stream flooding, but certainly localized flooding will be possible with any one of these cells. If they produce heavy rainfall, that means, down the street from you, the drain's not draining, and next thing you know, you have street flooding. Just don't drive through that. Things will calm down a little bit tomorrow evening, although as we head into Wednesday, we do have another chance of some light showers. Additional rainfall with this system overnight could be in the order of maybe an inch at the most. Most locations probably picking up about a quarter of an inch. One other thing to mention, some big swells coming in tomorrow with the backside of this system, and there is a high surf warning for the immediate coastline. We also have high tide around 11 a.m. tomorrow, so the hour or two leading up to that, so maybe 10 a.m. to around noon tomorrow. We have some big swells coming in. They could reach the roads along the coast. They could reach the bike paths, etc. Just give the ocean some distance. I'm not expecting it to be as bad as it was last week, but we still could see some issues with that, and we're going to be watching that for you. Quick look at that 7-day forecast because I'm doing a million hours of weather here, and we've got some other things to talk about in the show. So let me look at this really quickly for you. Not a lot of change between our coastal and inland areas. They're about the same. We have some isolated showers Wednesday. Thursday's dry. More systems, a couple of them actually toward the end of the week into the weekend. None of them looking extremely wet at this point or strong wind-wise, but they will bring some additional rain. We're going to be keeping an eye on them for you. Veronica.